Are you ready to embark on your first solo adventure, but feeling overwhelmed by so many choices? Fear not, because in this video I'll be covering my top 5 destinations for first-time solo travelers. These places are safe, welcoming, and full of incredible experiences. So let's go ahead and grab our passports, and let's go ahead and dive into this video. In this video, I'll be covering food, accommodations, recommendations, as well as transportation, followed with currency. I will say that this video is in no particular order. The first destination that we're going to cover is going to be Rome, Italy. Rome is a wonderful city that will bring history and food together like no other place. Rome is serviced by one international airport, FCO. FCO is around 27 miles away from the city center of Rome, which is going to be your main train terminal, which there's 2 big train terminals in Rome. One is Rome Trevi. I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, so I do apologize. And then the second one is Roma Tubriana, which is also probably pronounced wrong. So I'll link them below on the screen. There is a wide metro system in Rome. You'll be able to locate that by seeing the M all over, so it's gonna be a red M, and that will indicate that there's a metro line there. There's a big map, I'll put it on the screen here, so you can see that there is a wide metro system in Rome. It's very easy to operate, but just so you know that Rome is also a walking city, so you can walk. It is a little bit hilly and there is some cobblestones, so you want to make sure that you take that into consideration. The 2 ways to get from Rome International Airport to the city center would either be by train or taxi. The train is going to run you around 15 euro and the taxi is going to run you around 48 euro. So whenever you would like to do is easier fitting into your schedule, either if you've got a lot of luggage, if the timing, so you just gotta kind of figure out which one is best for you. The best times to visit Rome is going to be outside of the high season, and the high season runs June to August. That's gonna be when the most tourists are there. That's gonna be when that everybody's on summer vacation. So you just gotta keep that in mind when planning the trip. For your high season, your accommodation is gonna cost around $60 to $80. And your low season accommodation is gonna cost you around $28 to $50. Rome is known for its wonderful, incredible food. Some of the food that I highly recommend is the I can't even speak today. The pizza bianca, my personal favorite, the coce e pepe. You got your classic carbonara, your gelato. So all your typical classic fresh Italian foods. The pastries are to die for. My favorite gelateria is Gelateria La Romana, which there's multiple throughout the city. It's got fresh, classic, great gelato. Some of the top sites to see in Rome, of course, is gonna be your Colosseum, your Trevi Fountain, your Pantheon, your St. Peter's Basilica, your Roman Forum, Spanish Steps, and one of my personal favorite is the monument to Emmanuel Victoria. Oh, I'm sorry, it's Victor Emmanuel II. There's also a great elevator ride in the back of it. I'll include some pictures up on the screen so you can see that there's a beautiful view. You can get it from all 360 side. It's only $10. The place to get in itself is free. Rome is a very card-friendly destination, so you don't need really physical euros. You can just go ahead and swipe your card at most locations. But if you do need euros, I recommend just stopping by the first bank that you see, an actual physical bank, not just a random ATM, and then go ahead and pull your cash out of there. You'll get the best conversion rate there. Also, with that being said, make sure that you never have that bank do the conversion for you. You always want to have your personal bank do the conversion for you because you will get a better rate. The next city that I'm going to cover is Amsterdam. Amsterdam holds a special place in my heart as it was the first city that I've traveled internationally when in 2016. The high season to travel in Amsterdam is going to be April through September, and those accommodations are going to cost you $45 to $80 a night. But if you go ahead and go in the low season, which is going to run you $33 to $65, you can see there's that big difference there. So I highly recommend going to locations during the shoulder season, which is also the low season, so that way you don't get hit with all the heavy tourist price. Sometimes, especially like in Italy, when you go outside of the tourist season, they will go ahead and drop that price a little bit on accommodations and of course food items. And so it's very fluctuating when you hit locations. Like I said, the second place that we're gonna cover today is gonna be Amsterdam. Amsterdam has a wonderful, unique history. It is considered the Venice of the north of Europe. And why? There's a lot to do there. The main airport that you'll travel into in Amsterdam is going to be Schiphol, which Schiphol is around about a 15-minute train ride from the city center, which is going to be Amsterdam Central Station. The train ride to and from Amsterdam is going to cost you around €5 each way. You can opt for a taxi. That's going to be, of course, more expensive. The way to navigate Amsterdam is going to be there's the train, there's the metro, as well as there's Ubers or taxis, or it's a very walkable city, so you could also just walk it. It's relatively flat. There are a little bit of bridges for the canals, but nothing like Venice. The main things to eat in Amsterdam are going to be your stroopwafel, your pancakes. The Dutch pancakes are fantastic. They're thick and fluffy and wonderful. They are very known for their fries. Die Crumpton, I believe that's how you pronounce it, is one of the best fries in Amsterdam. It becomes in this big cone. You get a little stab or fork type thing, and you just kind of like stab and walk, and it's wonderful. One of the main places that I recommend eating inside Amsterdam is called a place called Food Holland. It's got a whole bunch of food stalls, and it kind of gives you a little bit of taste around all the region. Of course, you can't forget the Gouda. Netherlands is known for Gouda, so Gouda is fantastic in the Netherlands and Amsterdam. It's very fresh. You could taste the difference, and you can also bring some of that back home with you if you would like. It does travel. The things that I recommend to do in Amsterdam are going to be the Rijksmuseum, the Van Gogh Museum, Anne Frank House, Vondel Park, Rembrandt House, as well as going on a canal cruise. The canal cruise can seem a little bit cheesy and you'll see all the boats around, but it is highly recommended. Especially if you're there during the Festival of Night, you can take a night canal cruise, which is amazing. I will say just one caveat for Amsterdam is knowing that the difference between a coffee shop and a cafe is drastically different there. You just want to make sure that you're not going into a coffee shop if you're looking for a coffee. If you're looking for a coffee, you'll need to go into a cafe. If you would like something a little bit more green, you can go into a coffee shop. And if you would like a video about that, I can create one of those too. So please just let me know down below in the comments. Accommodations in Amsterdam are going to run from 45 to 80 in the high season and 33 to 65 in the low season. So it is going to be a little bit more of an expensive destination just because of it is a highly sought after destination to go to. So just keep that in mind when you're there, when you're deciding your first solo trip. The next city that I'm going to cover in this video is going to be Bangkok, Thailand. Another one of the gems in Southeast Asia. Bangkok, Thailand has one major airport, BKK, Suvarnabhumi Airport. I'm sure I probably pronounced that wrong, but I think that might be the best pronunciation in this video. So go me, go me. The currency they use in Thailand is going to be the Thai baht, which is, out of all the destinations in this video, I would probably say Thailand is going to be your most cash friendly. You can use your card at a lot of places in Thailand, but I will just let you know that it's very cash friendly. And like I said previously, you can just stop at the first bank that you see. The ATMs that I use, I believe, are usually in a purple color, and you can just withdraw your baht from there. Of course, let your bank do your conversion rate, not their bank. And then you can either utilize your cell phone or you can get a SIM card at the airport. When traveling to Bangkok for the first time, you're gonna wanna make sure you download the Grab app. Their Grab app is their version of Uber and also DoorDash. So it's kind of a conglomerate apps. So you just wanna make sure that you download that, have that on your phone. You can preload money to it, or you can also pay the drivers in cash. So there's a little bit of that flexibility there, unlike where Uber in the States you can't pay with cash, and there you can pay with cash. The fastest way to get from BKK to Bangkok City Center is going to be taking a Grab or a taxi, and that's gonna cost you around $7, $8, depending on exactly where your accommodation is. There's also a train method that you can use there. I personally have not taken the train, but I do know that you can take the train, and they say it's the quickest into the city, which is gonna be around 45 minutes. The high season for Bangkok is going to be November through February, and that's when you're gonna pay a little bit more in accommodations, and your accommodations cost is gonna be around $15 to $25. In the low season, your accommodations are gonna typically run from around $7 to $15. The things that I highly recommend doing in Bangkok, Thailand are going to be the Grand Palace, the Jim Thompson Museum, Chatuchak Weekend Market, Wat Run, which is going to be the large reclining Buddha. Siam Paragon, which is going to be a large mall. The Thai do malls like nobody else. It's also another great place to get food, is throughout the big giant malls. And when you're in Thailand, you'll know that it's very, very hot. So of course you're gonna wanna make sure that you have sunscreen and stuff, but that's why they have such big, nice malls, is because that AC, let me tell you, there's nothing like it. The food that I recommend eating in Thailand would be pad thai. Of course, mango sticky rice, there's nothing like it. Tom yum goong, wonderful. Thai crispy pancakes. One of the quintessential things to do in Bangkok is going to see the rooftop bars. There's a lot of rooftops within Thailand and within Bangkok, so I highly recommend taking an evening and going to a rooftop bar to get a sight of the city like you've never seen before. Also, don't forget Khao San Road. It is a little bit of a tourist destination, but also it's one of those quintessential things when in Bangkok, you've got to make sure that you check off your bucket list. I also highly recommend riding a tuk-tuk around town. They're going to be a little bit more expensive than your Grab, but very fun and quintessential Thailand. The next location that we're going to cover is going to be Split, Croatia. Split, Croatia is located on the Mediterranean in Croatia. So it's very south in Croatia. The main airport is going to be Split International, and to get to and from Split International, it's going to be a shuttle that's going to run you around $25 and it's going to take around 30 minutes, or a taxi that's going to take you around that same time, but it's going to be $33. The high season for Split, Croatia is going to be June through August, and that's when you can expect to pay around $40 to $50 a night. Or if you go in the low season, you're going to expect to pay around $18 to $20 a night. Some of the top sites to see in Split, Croatia is going to be the Diocletian Palace, the St. Damasus Cathedral, Plaza de Diocletian. All these are going to be listed up on the screen, so I'm sorry for pronouncing them wrong. Just sorry, bear with me. Marjan Park, as well as Old Split Town. Some of the top recommendations for eating is going to be the Diocletian stew, the prosciutto, the black risotto, pizza. I know pizza's kind of an odd one, but there is a big Italian heritage within Split, so there's some fantastic Italian food. The pizza is highly, highly recommended. And of course, with you being on the Mediterranean, grilled fish is a delicacy like nobody else. So I do highly recommend Split, Croatia as a great island getaway. That's not really an island. There are islands that you can hop to as well if you have more time. Final destination that I'm going to cover today in today's video is going to be San Pedro Island, and that's going to be in Belize. First, you'll need to fly into Belize City for this, and then you'll take a little puddle jumper over to San Pedro. There is multiple planes that operate through San Pedro Island, and you'll be looking to spend around $65 to $135. That's going to be the price for the little plane over to San Pedro Island. And once you're in San Pedro Island, your accommodation will be able to hook you up with a golf cart, and you can use that golf cart as your transportation throughout the whole entire island, as there is not a lot of cars. The high season for San Pedro Island is going to be your November to April range, and that's when you're looking to pay around $30 a night. In the low season, you're looking around to pay around $14 a night. The currency in San Pedro Island is going to be the United States dollar or the Belizean dollar. The conversion rate is simple with this one. It's going to be a 2-to-1, and most everything is going to be in Belizean dollars when you are traveling around the island, so you just divide it by 2, and that will be the price that you'll end up paying. There is also a ferry option in getting to San Pedro Island from Belize City, but that takes around 2.5 hours, so I don't recommend that unless you would like to spend a long time to and from on a ferry. As far as things to do around San Pedro Island, there is a lot for any type of traveler. Scuba diving is wonderful there. There's a beautiful reefs all over San Pedro and Aberystwyth. You can also take a short journey to the Blue Hole, which is going to be the deepest part in the ocean. It's pretty cool to see in person. You can also dive it as well. You can go to Secret Beach, which is just a lovely, low-key kind of like locals beach. I highly recommend I highly recommend going to eat at the Blue Bayou. It is wonderful. You're gonna get your traditional Belizean fare, as well as just a great vibe, drinking, eating, hanging out in the water on your picnic table while they bring you their food on their heads. It's a sight to behold, that's for sure. You can also just golf cart around the island. Golf carting around the island is beautiful. It's not a very long island. You can stop and get gas easily. Most of the golf carts that you'll get will be gas powered, but you do want to make sure that you lock them up, and they are known for taking your Yeti cups there, so you just want to make sure that you always bring your cup with you as when you get out of your golf cart. The truck stop is another great location in San Pedro Island. It's got a whole bunch of different food concepts within this one area. It's great, you have a great drink. I had some great Thai food while I was in there. And then of course you can see the iguanas. The iguanas are kind of everywhere. There's just one particular area that you can see giant iguanas that you've only thought about seeing in Jurassic Park and stuff like that. The food that I highly recommend eating in Belize City is going to be seafood, of course, with it being right there in the Caribbean. The seafood is out of this world. Rice and beans, the shrimp, their shrimp platters they're traditionally known for, fantastic. Lobster, you can get fresh cut lobster right then and there. They butterfly it right open for you, stuff it, it's fantastic. There's, of course, being a Hispanic country, there is going to be some Hispanic flair into their food, so the tamales are fantastic. Belkin beer is one of the best drinks that you can have there. It's their Belizean beer that they're known for. And then there is a place on the island called the Belize Chocolate Company, which is to die for chocolate chip cookies. So that would be my recommendation for San Pedro Island. I really appreciate you joining into this video. I hope that you've learned something, and I hope that you would consider following along to my channel to help us grow. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.